Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Bol, please. Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining this morning. Hope you're enjoying the Queen's Jubilee. It's an amazing event in this world's calendar. I think it's been unheard of. Some monarch leading for 70 years. Says she has some sukriti that she's managed to last this long, and portless as well. So it's amazing. It's amazing. And yeah, we'll make a start on our class today. And we're still talking about Mata Devhuti and Kapil Dev Muni, her son. There's a lot in this Sankhya philosophy to capture. And we've talked about, we compared material and spiritual last week. And now, because it was originally Devhuti's question, that how do I release myself from material bondage? How do I get liberation? Kapil Dev Muni explained that you can get released from material bondage. Even in this body, you can get released from material bondage. So we continue from here. So the Supreme Personality Godhead said, one can get liberation by seriously discharging devotional service onto me and thereby hearing for a long time about me or from me. So here's the answer. By thus executing one's prescribed duties, there will be no reaction and one will be freed from the contamination of matter. So Sridhar Swami comments in this connection that by association with material nature alone, one does not become conditioned. So this is very interesting, that just because we have a material body does not mean that we automatically become conditioned. So it's a very important thing to remember. Conditioned life begins only after one is infected by the modes of material nature. And we were discussing about the modes of material nature last week. So it's not the fact that we have a material body that we are under illusion. It's the modes of material nature that put us under illusion. This is the thing. So if someone is in contact with the police department, that does not mean that he is a criminal, as long as one does not commit criminal acts. Even though there is a police department, he's not punished. As long as one does not commit criminal acts, even though there's a police department, he is not punished. Similarly, the liberated soul is not affected, although he is in the material nature. So you can be in a situation, you can be in a police department, and doesn't mean that because you are in a police department, you're going to have some kind of case going against you, or you're in the court, or you are employee in a prison. Doesn't mean that they're going to lock you up. So being in that situation depends on, what's your status in that respect. Even the Supreme Personality Godhead is supposed to be in association with material nature when he descends, but he's not affected. One has to act in such a way that in spite of being in the material nature, he's not affected by contamination. This is the key. Although the lotus flower is in association with water, it does not mix with the water. So this is the metaphor example given. That is how one has to live, as described here by the personality Godhead, Kapil Dev. So material body is there, the contamination is there, but it's up to us whether we remain contaminated or we purify. This is the answer. Let's pray. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lamyate Girim Yat Kirpatam Ham Vande Shri Gurum Dim Taranam Brahmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitaneshwaram Hari Om Tassat Narayan Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narotamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiriyat Nasta Presho Avadareshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nishtaki. Hare Krishna. So one can be liberated from all adverse circumstances simply by seriously engaging in devotional service. So this is the answer to that. How this devotional service develops and becomes mature is now explained. In the beginning, one has to perform his prescribed duties with a clean mind. So prescribed duty is what we are, what we do every day, and what is our psycho-physical nature, what we are good at, automatically we're good at. That is been prescribed to us to do those tasks. Clean consciousness means Krishna consciousness. One has to perform his prescribed duties in Krishna consciousness. There is no necessity of changing one's prescribed duties. One simply has to act in Krishna consciousness. In discharging Krishna conscious duties, one should determine whether by his professional or occupational duties, Krishna, the Supreme Personality Godhead, is satisfied. For example, Arjun's prescribed duty was to fight, because he was a Kshatriya, he was a fighter naturally. And the perfection of his fighting was tested by the satisfaction of Krishna. Krishna wanted him to fight, and when he fought for the satisfaction of the Lord, that was the perfection of his professional devotional duty. On the other hand, when contrary to the wish of Krishna, he was not willing to fight, that was imperfect. So if one wants to perfect his life, he should discharge his prescribed duties for the satisfaction of Krishna. So whatever we're doing, we should use those qualities in the service of Krishna. One must act in Krishna consciousness, for such action will never produce any reaction. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad-Gita. All activities should be performed simply for yajna, or the satisfaction of Vishnu. Anything done otherwise without the satisfaction of Vishnu or yajna produces bondage. So here is also prescribed by Kapil Muni that one can transcend material entanglement by acting in Krishna consciousness, which means seriously engaging in devotional service. This serious devotional service can develop by hearing for long periods of time. This is where it starts, and hearing helps us to purify. If you want realizations, if you want to grasp knowledge, then you have to purify the heart, because until the heart is purified, nothing is absorbed in the heart. You don't get realizations until the heart is purified. Chanting and hearing is the beginning of the process of devotional service. One should associate with devotees and hear from them about the Lord's transcendental appearance, activities, disappearance, instructions, and so on. So hearing, so there are two kinds of Shruti or scriptures. One is spoken by the Lord and the other is spoken about the Lord and his devotees. So these two are Bhagavad-Gita, spoken by the Lord, and Srimad Bhagavatam is about the Lord. One must hear these scriptures repeatedly from reliable sources in order to become fixed in serious devotional service. So very important to keep hearing these two, especially these two books, to make us a bit stronger in our endeavor. Through engagement in such devotional service, one becomes freed from the contamination of Maya. So your purification, just by hearing these two scriptures, this is the amazing thing. But we must hear seriously and sincerely, this is with an open mind. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead cleanses the heart of all contamination caused by the influence of the three modes of material nature. So here's the antidote, that if you want to be released from the three modes of material nature, then hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Automatically it releases it from that, from these three gunas. By continuous regular hearing, the effects of the contamination of lust and greed to enjoy or load it over material nature diminish. And when lust and greed diminish, one then becomes situated in the mode of goodness. Because before that, you are either in the mode of passion or mode of ignorance. So when our lust and greed reduces, lust for material things, for acquiring material things, when that reduces, and we don't want to just sense gratification or think that we are the enjoyer or the proprietor of everything, everything belongs to us, and put Krishna on one side, then it doesn't work. But as you hear from the scriptures, the purification takes place in the heart, and you automatically come in the mode of goodness. And this is a stage of Brahman realization or spiritual realization. In this way, one becomes fixed on the transcendental platform. Remaining fixed on the transcendental platform is liberation from material entanglement. So one becomes fixed, but then to remain fixed on that, if you remain fixed, then you ultimately liberated from material entanglement, because material things don't bother you anymore. You're not hankering for anything. You're not lamenting for anything. So you're liberated. Hankering means something that you want, and lamenting means something that you wanted and you couldn't get it. So you're looking back, thinking, oh, it could have been like this, could have been like this. So that's you're lamenting. So, and hankering is that you're still after things. You want to enjoy things and you want to acquire things. In the dreaming state, one's consciousness is almost covered, and one sees many inauspicious things. When he's awakened and fully conscious, such inauspicious things cannot bewilder him. So in the condition of dreaming, when one's consciousness is almost covered, one may see many unfavorable things which cause disturbance or anxiety. But upon awakening, although he remembers what happened in the dream, he's not disturbed. So because you realize that that was just a dream, it wasn't real. Similarly, the position of self-realization or understanding of one's real relationship with the Supreme Lord makes one completely satisfied. And the three modes of material nature, which are the cause of disturbances, cannot affect him anymore. So we can, although three modes of material nature are very, very strong, we can become stronger than them by associating with the Lord. We can become a sort, and so they cannot harm us anymore. This is the amazing thing. In contaminated consciousness, one sees everything to be for his own enjoyment. But in pure consciousness or Krishna consciousness, he sees that everything exists for the enjoyment of the Supreme Enjoyer. So you know, as when you're no longer attached to anything, then they can't bother you, right? You know, if everything's for Krishna, why should you bother? You came with nothing, and you will go with nothing. So what have you got to lose? You have got nothing to lose. When we came with zero. And when we leave, we will not take anything with us apart from our bhakti. So why worry about material things? And if you keep that in your mind, then nothing can bother you so much. You know, honor, dishonor, profit or gain, it's here in the mind because you didn't come with anything. You got everything from here and you will leave everything here. This is where it is. Like you go to hotel, you use the facilities and then you move out. You don't bring anything with you, just leave it there, right? You can't bring anything with you. So why bother about it? It's not ours in the first place, so why bother about it? So the state of contaminated consciousness is compared to dream consciousness, and Krishna consciousness is compared to the awakened stage of life. So this is when you realize that nothing belongs to you. Actually, as stated in Bhagavad-Gita, the only absolute enjoyer is Krishna, one who can understand that Krishna is the proprietor of all the three worlds, and that he is friend of Krishna, or Krishna is friend of everyone, is peaceful and independent. This is what we need to acquire, peace and independence from material energy. As long as a conditioned soul does not have this knowledge, so what he wants to do, he wants to be the enjoyer of everything. He wants to become a humanitarian or philanthropist and open hospitals and schools for his fellow human beings. This is all illusion. But one cannot benefit anyone by such material activities. If one wishes to benefit his fellow brother, he must awaken his dormant Krishna consciousness. The Krishna conscious position is that of Pratibuddha, which means pure consciousness. So as I mentioned last week, we don't want to help people in just one lifetime. We want to help people so we help them in all their lives, because this is just one journey. If you help people in Krishna consciousness, you have completed all the journeys. You have helped them in all their lives, not just this small episode. The influence of material nature cannot harm an enlightened soul, even though he engages in material activities, because he knows the truth of the absolute and his mind is fixed on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Kapil says that May Manasam, a devotee whose mind is always fixed upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called Atmaram or Vidita Tattva. Atmaram means one who rejoices in the self. So you don't need anything from outside for enjoyment. You're a spirit soul and you are naturally happy. Or one who enjoys the spiritual atmosphere. Atma, in the material sense, means the body or the mind, but when referring to one whose mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, Atmaram means one who is fixed in spiritual activity in relationship with the Supreme Soul. The Supreme Soul is the personality of Godhead, and the individual soul is the living entity. When they engage in reciprocation of service and benediction, the living entity is said to be in the Atmaram position. This Atmaram position can be attained by one who knows the truth as it is. The truth is that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the enjoyer and that the living entities are meant for his service and enjoyment. One who knows this truth and who tries to engage all resources in the service of the Lord escapes all material reactions and influences of the modes of material nature. Now, it might sound that, oh my God, we are eternally servants and this is our job, just to serve. We have no rights because servants don't always have, so, what is this that we are just serving all the time? It's too much. But it's not, because we are thinking in material terms. If you think in spiritual terms, it's not like that you're just a servant and your job is just to do tasks and not ask for anything. Actually, we are the part of the whole. Krishna is whole, we are small part. So just like our say, hands, arms, and legs. And when the body is nurtured, which is like Krishna, is the body, the rest of the body get nurtured by itself automatically. So it's like that. So if Krishna is enjoying from his little parts, then we automatically get enjoyment. So it's not that Krishna is enjoying separately from us. We are part of the whole. We are part of his body. So we automatically enjoy with him. It's like that. And in fact, Krishna loves to serve us. There is a competition between Krishna and his servants. When we serve Krishna, Krishna wants to serve us back. We serve him more. And you find that as you do devotional service, you get so happy. You know, there's this bliss and this enjoyment. So you think, oh my God, I really enjoy doing that. I want to do more. And then Krishna serves, gives you more bliss. And then you want to serve him. There's this competition going on all the time. When you make Krishna happy, in return, he makes you happy. So it's not like the material servant and master situation. So an example may be cited in this connection, just as a materialist engages in constructing a big skyscraper. A devotee engages in constructing a big temple for Vishnu. Superficially, the skyscraper constructor and temple constructor are on the same level. For both are collecting wood, stone, iron, and other building materials. But the person who constructs a skyscraper is materialist, and the person who constructs a temple of Vishnu is Atmaram. The materialist tries to satisfy himself in relation to his body by constructing a skyscraper, but the devotee tries to satisfy the super self, the supreme personality of Godhead, by constructing the temple. So we all do the same things. As a materialist and a spiritualist, we do the same thing, but what is the motive behind it? And that's the important thing. What is our motivation? But the non-devotee who's constructing the skyscraper has his mind fixed in sense gratification. If while performing any activity, even in material existence, one's mind is fixed upon the lotus feet of the personality Godhead, one will not be entangled or conditioned. The worker in devotion service in full Krishna consciousness is always independent of the influence of material nature. So if you're doing for Krishna, then you're not trying to enjoy it. You're doing to make Krishna happy. And then it's explained that my devotee, Kapil Muni explains that my devotee actually becomes self-realized by my unlimited causeless mercy. And thus, when freed from all doubts, he steadily progresses towards his destined abode, which is directly under the protection of my spiritual energy of unadulterated bliss. That is the ultimate perfection goal of the living entity. After giving up the present material body, the mystic devotee goes to that transcendental abode and never comes back. And this is what Krishna is promising. That if you do that, by mercy of the Lord, when you're a devotee of Krishna, you go back and you never come back in this material world, which is actually very foreign and alien to us because we don't really belong here in the material world. It's just an illusionary, it's a shadow of the real thing. Actual self-realization means becoming a pure devotee of the Lord. The existence of a devotee implies the function of devotion and the object of devotion. Self-realization ultimately means to understand the personality of Godhead and the living entities. To know the individual self and the reciprocal exchanges of loving service between the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the living entity is self-realization. So there is explained here what we all want to know what the self-realization means. So explained here, to know who we are, who God is, and what is our relationship. Devotion service is revealed to the pure devotee by the unlimited causeless mercy of the Lord. Only those who engage in devotion service with love and faith receive the necessary intelligence from the Supreme Personality Godhead, so that gradually and progressively they can advance to the abode of Personality of Godhead. Now, it says here the devotional service with love and faith. So, if you're doing service, but you're not happy to do it, just doing it because you have to do it, then it's not really devotional service. It's service, but it's not devotional service. Devotion means love and faith. So it has to include those ingredients. Otherwise, it does not become pure devotional service. The impersonalists sacrifice the individuality so that the living spark can merge into the impersonal effulgence emanating from the transcendental body of the Lord. But the devotee has a specific abode. The planets rest in the sunshine, but the sunshine itself has no particular resting place. So when one reaches a particular planet, then he has a resting place. The spiritual sky, which is known as Kevalya, is simply blissful light on all sides and is under the protection of the Supreme Personality Godhead. The impersonal Brahman effulgence rests on the body of the Supreme Personality Godhead. In other words, the bodily effulgence of the Supreme Personality Godhead is Kevalya, or impersonal Brahman. So that is just the light emanating from the Lord. In that impersonal effulgence, there are spiritual planets, which are known as Vaikunthas, chief of which is Krishna Lok. Some devotees are elevated to the Vaikuntha planets, and some are elevated to the planet Krishna Lok, according to the desire of the particular devotee. He is offered a particular abode, which is known as Swa Samasthan. So it's all about our desires. You might ask, well, how come some people end up in Krishna Lok, others end up in Vaikuntha, and we're discussing some may end up in Ayodhya, in Ramlok. Why is that? Well, because that's where you desire to be. That's where you will end up. His desires, destiny. By the grace of the Lord, the self-realized devotee engaged in devotional service understands his destination even while in the material body. So this is the amazing things. So as you advance, you start realizing that what is your actual destination, and you really sincerely want to go there. And it doesn't have to be Krishna Lok. It can be where Nrsingadev resides. It can be where Vamandev resides. It can be where Dhruv Maharaj resides. Don't know. Okay, it depends on individual taste. And rasa, you realize your rasa as well with God, your rasa. He therefore performs the devotional activities steadily, without doubting, and after quitting his material body, he at once reaches the destination for which he has prepared himself. So Krishna is telling, Kapil Muni is explaining. In fact, Prabhupada's purport this is that you, in advanced position, you prepare yourself for that destination. But should be done steadily, without doubting. And that should be the attitude. The subtle body is made of mind, intelligence, false ego, and contaminated consciousness. And the gross body is made of 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. When one is transferred to the spiritual world, he gives up both. Okay, so this is the thing. So we have a gross body and we have a subtle body, which subtly is the mind, intelligence, false ego, and contaminated consciousness. And the gross body, which we can see, is the earth, water, fire. At least we can see the earth part of it, and the water, I guess. Fire, air, ether is also there, which are a bit subtler than the earth and water. When one is transferred to the spiritual world, he gives up both the subtle and gross bodies of his material world. So all that is left here. He enters the spiritual sky in his pure spiritual body. So this is the third body we have is a spiritual body, and is stationed in one of the spiritual planets. So we don't go with this subtle body or material body, we go there with spiritual body, or at least we will get the spiritual body when we get there. All the other impersonalists also reach that spiritual sky after giving up the subtle and gross material bodies. They are not placed in the spiritual planets as they desire, they are allowed to merge in the spiritual effulgence emanating from the transcendental body of the Lord. The word Swasmatanam is also very significant. As a living entity prepares himself, as he attains his abode, the impersonal Brahman effulgence is offered to the impersonalist. But those who want to associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his transcendental form as Narayan in the Vaikunthas. So if you want to associate with Narayan, you go to Vaikuntha. If you want to associate with Krishna, you go to Krishna Lok, and you go to these abodes where from you never return. So this is amazing. Now Kapil Muni has explained everything to his mother, that what you have to do, what you have to release yourself from, and then once you do that, what is your destination? And your destination is, first of all, based on your endeavor to release yourself, and also your desire to, you know, what destination you want to go to. You have that choice as well. So this is amazing, amazing stuff. So thank you so much. Appreciate you all joining today, and just like to welcome you all, my father-in-law ji, Rukmani Mataji, Jai Prabhu, Partha Prabhu, Parveen Mataji, Sandhya Mataji, and Sarvashriya Mataji. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, I think Venkat Prabhu was there, and Nita Mataji was there. So thank you all, and like to hear from you all. This is a very beautiful topic, and learning so much, and it just gives you inspiration when you hear this, that God himself is promising you things. Then it gives you inspiration and determination to achieve that, because otherwise we're thinking, well, you know, why are we doing this? You know, it's very difficult. Is there any point? Are we, you know, are we actually going to achieve anything, or have we just missed out on a wonderful life of material gratification? Because this world is ideal for material satisfaction. There is so much somebody wants to enjoy. There is so much to do. You can enjoy yourself till, you know, you drop, and we do. Most people do that. They enjoy until they drop. So, but Krishna says that there is, if you want eternal life in the spiritual world where you actually belong, because you're not really this body, this is just temporary enjoyment. If you want internal enjoyment, then you follow the instructions, and you can, otherwise you keep going around in circles. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll start from the top. Rukmani Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Anji. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhuji, very good class, and very, very confusing. What to do and what not to do. So many choice, Prabhuji, making us very confused. But it's very nice lecture, Prabhu. We have to understand, and it's very difficult to put in practice. Still, we are trying. We are listening all these classes and spiritual knowledge, and we are trying to be like Dhruv and Prahlad and this Kapil Muni, their life. If we listen to their life, it's very difficult, Prabhuji, in Kali Yuga. But still we are trying by listening all the spiritual knowledge. That's it, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. You're absolutely right. We are all listening, and very important, as it's mentioned, to hear for purification. But if you want to speed up, you know, you can keep hearing. But if you want to speed things up, then you have to go to the stage of mananam as well. Shravanam is one thing, and it will eventually, our life is not big enough to keep just hearing. We have to also use the mananam. Mananam means what we hear, contemplate on it. Yeah, you analyze it. So like this today, we are discussing, we've just heard it, it's given some purification, but then if we forget about it, then we'll contaminate ourselves again. So you hear it and then you think, what does this mean? What do I need to do to move forward? What do I need to do to advance? And then you progress. Just only hearing won't be enough to take us back. We need to analyze it and use it in our lives. And then it would really help us.
And Shravanam, Kirtanam, Path Sevanam, that is we hear and we do Kirtan. And what is Path Sevanam?
Serving the feet of the Lord, or it also means that you use your feet to serve the Lord, like we dance for the Lord, or we go to temple, we go to dhams. That is all Path Sevana, Mataji.
Or like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. He was always going on his long walks and enlightening people and liberating people. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Partha Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very nice class, Prabhu, today it is. And you explained it so nicely. And as you said, Mananam is more important than hearing as well then. So we are constantly under the effect of material nature. So we have to do our prescribed duties with steadily, without doubt, having faith and love. And for that we need to purify our mind and grab the knowledge. And for that we need to do hearing, chanting, and association. We need to hear that to the past times. And as you mentioned, like Shruti is again two categories. One is directly coming from the Lord, and another is coming from his devotees. So I feel like when we read these books like Nectar of Instruction, Ishopanishad, and given by Rupa Goswami and any other scriptures by Bhaktivinoda Tagore, then we can actually really feel like how we can execute a devotional service and offer all the service to the Lord Vishnu. That's nice, Prabhuji. That's all.
Thanks so much.
And in the one of the things, Prabhuji, you mentioned about mode of goodness and mode of passion and ignorance. I was reading this Hamsa Guhya avatar. So in that, like Brahma was asked by his sons that, can you please tell us how to control our sense gratification? And Brahma said, I cannot say, because even I come under the effect of this material, this passion. Then Lord he himself come and he gave the instructions to sons of Brahma, the four Kumaras. And he said that there are three types of sleeping state. One is awakened state, one is sleeping state, one is deep sleeping state. So in awakened state, you're in mode of goodness. In sleeping state, you're getting dreams, but at least you're in mode of passion. And in a deep sleep, you're not getting dreams. You're sleeping in such a way that you don't know anything what is happening around. You don't get even in his dream also. That's a deep sleep, which is in a mode of ignorance. That's all, Prabhuji.
Wonderful. Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you for that, Prabhu. Yeah, sponsor of that. And yeah, even everybody in the material world is under the mode of three modes of nature. There's no denying that. But in Bhagavad-Gita, Lord Krishna explains that it's not completely useless. You can be stronger than, although they're very strong, with my help, you can become stronger than the three modes. So because we are the marginal energies of the Lord, whereas the other things are just material energies, we are stronger. We are next to the Lord. His only difference is he's unlimited, we are limited, but we are spiritual souls, so we are very strong. But yet the three modes tend to be stronger than us because because we are in the material world. They suddenly become very powerful here. It's like the demons become very powerful in the night. The three modes will become very powerful in the material world. But Krishna says that if you ask for my help sincerely, you can become stronger than them. So this is amazing. Thank you, Praveen. Praveen Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam. Thank you. Very nice class. And yes, now you've given me hope love and faith are the only two ingredients required for devotional service. Because I always think that, yes, I can't remember things, I've got no intelligence, but I always say, but if I keep chanting nicely, I'm sure I'll get there. And I was talking to my husband yesterday, what do you think, you know, how we're doing? And he said, like, I think it is difficult in this life because we've started so late. But then again, you said inspiration and determination. So we are inspired by all the devotees, and determination is definitely there. So we just have to keep trying. Thank you so much. It was very nice. I just got a quick question, Prabhuji. So when we go to Kirtan, then I feel, oh, this is so nice. I'm enjoying it. Is it okay to still feel that way, that I'm enjoying it, or we still, but because they're related to Krishna, this enjoyment to the name, is that okay to have that feeling?
Yeah, see, the thing is, we automatically enjoy it. That's just is the way thing, we have senses. So we automatically enjoy whether it's kirtan or prasad. We automatically enjoy these things, right? We have, like I said, we have sense perception. But like prasad, we should enjoy it because it's prasad. It's not because it's tasty food, right? So it's all about how we see it. This is the thing. So a devotee is doing everything that any other person is doing, but our intention is different. The intention is very important. With what intention we're enjoying. So if you're enjoying is because it's Krishna's name, then nothing wrong with that. But if you're enjoying it that, oh, this is a nice beat, I like this beat, it's really good. And then somebody else comes along and says, oh, that beat is not really as good as the other one. Then it's wrong because you just want to enjoy the beat. But if you're enjoying it as the Krishna's names have been mentioned, and it's Krishna's kirtan, then it's okay. We can enjoy that. But so it's about the intention that we're enjoying it with us. That's the important thing.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Right. As we go to Sarveshya Mataji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, devotional service is a very wide subject to discuss. And first of all, we can't do devotional service unless we have a renunciation from the material things. And like when we start out, we are Krishna conscious, we are told to follow the 4 principles. And that's no gambling, no meat eating, no illicit sex. And why? Because in this thing, Kali Yuga resides. And where there's a Kali Yuga, you can't advance in devotional service. And this benediction was given by Raja Parikshit to Kali Yuga. And that's why we can't do with the devotional service, because if you eat meat or if you gamble, then the Kali Yuga is there. He won't let you do devotional service. And then it is very important to do the austerity, like following fasting days, Ekadashi and Janmashtami. That time, while you were doing, you were remembering Krishna. When you're remembering Krishna is a devotional samranam. That is one devotional service. You don't realize, but you think of Krishna all day when you're fasting for Janmashtami. That is remembering Krishna. And we've always, when we try to do anything, we mustn't enjoy our senses. We always try to satisfy Krishna's senses, because he's enjoy everything. If you want to eat anything, you offer to Krishna, and then you enjoy it. And that both how you enjoy it is Krishna's prasad. Because Krishna is the master of the senses, he's called Krishna. And then there's 2 kind of devotees. One devotee that pray to Krishna, they go to the temple and then ask for material things. But who are devotees, they try to pray to Krishna for the love and to satisfy Krishna. And they don't want anything in exchange. They don't want anything. They want only bhakti. And that is real bhakti. And when you satisfy Krishna's senses, it's also called bhakti. And as soon as living entity forgets his constitutional position and try to become one with the Lord, that means he wants to enjoy, he wants to be an enjoyer like Krishna. That his conditioned life begins. That means from that he is conditioned. So we should follow the instruction of Krishna given in Bhagavad-Gita to get released from this material bondage. And it's very important to get initiated. When you get initiated, it's some sort of feeling you get. It's some that you are connected with Krishna. And then you get more interested in doing devotional service. And then Guru, why we have Guru? Because when I leave our body, Guru can take us to Krishna. And that is devotional service. So we have to do everything we do, like Krishna says, we do it for me in the Bhagavad-Gita, and we will be free from the bondage. So we forget, but we must try to remember as much we can, because we can't be 100%. We are human and we have material body, we live in the material world. But at least try. If you try one step, Krishna will come and get you 10 steps. He will help you. And without the mercy of Krishna, you can't advance in devotional service. So people who are getting, devotion for Krishna, that means Krishna is merciful. He is giving the mercy. Without the mercy of Krishna, you can't do a devotional service. Anybody can't do the devotional service. And Krishna knows that you are interested. You are doing, saving me, then he'll help you. So we think we should, my thing is we have to try to do everything for Krishna, like Guru Maharaj said. You have to put Krishna in the circle. Anything you do it for Krishna, and that is Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Ravi. Thank you. And also, doesn't matter what age you start at, we shouldn't think that we got no hope in this lifetime, because even if that thinking like that might slow us down, because if we start thinking we're not going to make it, we're not going to try hard, are we? We think, well, what's the point? We're not going to make it. So I think we should still give our best to our Krishna consciousness. If by chance we don't make it, then we'll just start off where we left off in the next life. This is the thing. So we can't make it in this life. We want to make sure we have the perfect opportunity, or the best possible opportunity in our next life. Just like we do our best for our next generation, our children and grandchildren want to even, we're helping this planet for our future generations. So we know that whatever happens to us, we want to make sure after we've gone, everybody has a good opportunity on this planet. It's not like destroyed, resources finished and weather's all out of control. Just like we're doing that, or we're trying to do that. Same way, for our next life, we should do our best endeavor, that if we make it, well, that's great. That's job accomplished. If not, we should do things that we have the best opportunity in our next life, that we are born in the house of devotees straight away, and we can get down to devotion service and Krishna consciousness, and we really enjoy doing it. And then, we go straight back home. So you have to prepare that platform. If not in this life, then it should be available in our next life. So, give yourself a chance. Okay, Radharani, would you like to say something?
Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavat pranams to you. Hope you're having a nice extended bank holiday weekend. I just wanted to add to the lovely discussion and the brilliant class we had this morning. Like we all, whatever we have faith in, we put our energies into that experience. For example, if we have faith in our capabilities of earning a lot of money, we put a lot of endeavor, and we make a lot of money, and we know that we are going to enjoy, and that is interesting to us, that is going to give us enjoyment. But once we have accomplished so much in our lives, we have used our talents in our own kind of sense gratification. And when we come to Krishna consciousness, we realize that the difficulties we face are due to the modes of material nature who are acting on us straight since after we get the birth into this material world. So once we have understood the Krishna consciousness, the mercy is all around us. It's the endeavor is going to be on our part to grab the mercy. Krishna is waiting there with both hands, and he's giving the mercy free. It's freely flowing from all directions in the form of devotees, in the form of Bhagwan's katha, in the form of Bhagwan's name, which we chant, we hear, and the darshans we have in the temples, of the arch vigrahas, the murtis, and whatever, for example, we are offering to Krishna before eating and then accepting it as prasad. So once we have understood what is Krishna consciousness, we should have complete faith in that process. And once we have got steady faith, now the steady faith, the steadiness is going to come from us. Krishna has told us everything. Krishna has given us everything. When we were not in Krishna consciousness, and now when we are also in Krishna consciousness, Krishna has given us everything. Now it's up to us to make our faith firm. This is where our free will is going to kick in. So if we are not going to become firm in our faith, then how Krishna is going to help us? So once we become firm in our faith, in executing the Krishna consciousness, then we'll be putting 100% endeavor also into that direction. We won't be thinking, I started Krishna consciousness at age 5 or age 10 or as a teenager, or when I was in a senior stage of my life. That doesn't matter. Krishna is willing. He's like a loving father to all of us, because he's the creator of all of us. And when we put our sincere endeavor into it, and we know what is the end result is that we'll be going back to the abode, and we won't be doing the circles of this janam, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, birth, death, old age, and disease. How wonderful it's going to be. So that is the end result. When we can see that if we are going to be serious in our faith and in our execution, and we know what is the final end product is we are going to be giving the devotional, serving Krishna in person, and we won't be doing the rounds of this samsara, then how wonderful it is. So as human beings, we know that if we know our destination, we know what is going to be the end result, our execution becomes better. So why not give this one life to Krishna after we have understood it? Otherwise, what is going to happen is we are going to come back where we left our bhakti. We'll have to start all over again. And we don't know in that birth, we'll be having this beautiful sangha of the devotees, or we'll have a family who is going to support us in our Krishna consciousness. We don't know in the next birth what kind of birth we're going to have. Are we going to be coming back as humans, or are we going to stuck in some other species, again waiting for human life? So like Prabhupada explains to us again and again in his purports, that this human life is a bad bargain. But let us make best use of this bad bargain and just get out of it. Give this one life to Krishna. That's all we have to do. And that's all what I have understood, that after understanding, listening to so many classes, reading so much of scriptures, and contemplating on everything which has been said again and again to us, the conclusion is that it is all upon us. The onus is upon us. The Krishna has given us the ball. For example, if you are playing tennis, Now it's up to us that we are going to give good shots, or are we going to just waste our time, just going around in the circles in the court. So our free will is with us, and we have to use our free will so strongly that we are convinced that this Krishna consciousness is not a dream state given to us, or it's not just a fiction novel that we are reading it and we'll put it away when we don't like to carry on. We continue with it with the steady faith and steady endeavor, and help each other out and clear our doubts and have no doubts, and have firm faith that the Creator who brings the dawn to us every day, and who brings the dusk to every day, who gives us the strength to perform all the activities during the day, gives us the consciousness to understand, and then gives us the night to rest, is also going to take us back. He is more eager than us. This is what I have understood in all my years of Krishna consciousness. So with that, I will leave you all. And sorry if I've just gone on and on, but this is how I strongly feel. And I think that we should help each other like this and keep our enthusiasm at peak. So if one of us is feeling our enthusiasm is going down, we should help others or ask help from each other. So this is all Krishna consciousness is all about. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Just very quickly, I was going to say that faith is very important, very important. We have to have faith in things. We don't have much choice. We have to have faith in a doctor, in our surgeon, in our bank to keep our money safe. On the road when we're driving, we get up on an airplane, we have faith that this pilot is competent to fly us, right? So every day we're putting faith in things. So faith is a very, very necessary thing for every process we do. And same with Krishna consciousness, that faith is what carries us forward. So must have faith in the process. And like Radharani says, at least in this lifetime, we apply it and make the best of it. So even if we don't make it, we are ready in the next life to go back. Thank you so much. I hope it's okay. I don't mind doing a couple of rounds if it's okay with everyone, because it's bank holiday anyway. So I don't mind a couple of rounds if everybody's okay. If you need to leave, that'll be fine. Otherwise, we can do a couple of rounds. Sarvashi Mataji would like to start, and then Rukmini Mataji, if you're okay today, to chant second round. Sarvashi Mataji.
Nama O Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vataya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti